Control is this week's free game on the Epic Store, though sadly only the base game and not the Ultimate Edition. You play as Jessie Fandon, who finds herself in the Federal Bureau of Control after a long search to find answers to her past. You are in an otherwise initially drab office building, which you will eventually discover is called the Oldest House. It reminds me a lot of the Umbrella Academy's Temps Commission if you've watched that on Netflix, and perhaps these two organisations aren't too dissimilar. The full story is certainly not given early on, but you soon come to learn that the building is in lockdown, the director is dead, and you somehow become the new director, and are up against an interdimensional force which you name the Hiss. I don't want to drop any more story spoilers, so I will leave it there, other than saying the writing and story is superb. It does tail off a little bit towards the end, however it's really worth playing through. The paranormal features highly in the game, and it becomes the focus for much of your combat moves. The initial melee attack to the more powerful ranged telekinesis, you really feel like you are wielding some serious power. Having the ability to rip up parts of the environment and damage or destroy other parts of this destructive world is a constant source of entertainment. The combat is fun, and the game forces you to keep moving in combat to avoid enemy fire or risk dying. Of course, there is a trusty gun for those of you who enjoy some more traditional combat. The only negative is that the enemy types are limited, and eventually it perhaps becomes a little bit repetitive fighting the same mobs over and over again, even if they do become more powerful. The voice acting and the characters for the most part are very engaging, though there are a few moments where the characters seem to go a bit wooden, while other times they're absolutely fantastic, so it doesn't really make sense. You also have a constant inner monologue during the game, which shows another side to the story that's going on in your own head. Exploration is a significant part of the game, which rewards you with upgrades and story-based items such as files and videos. A lot of thought and effort has actually been put into these, so I would actually, oddly for this type of game, suggest taking the time to go and look at them. Not something I would always suggest, but in this case, definitely worth it. It's impressive what the game developers have managed to achieve with the environments here, as they are actually fairly varied even though there are a lot of grey blocky areas. Different parts of the Oldest House have a very individual feel for different departments while still having this overall corporate look. And if you are lucky enough to have an RTX capable graphics card, you can really ramp up the RTX in this game, which I can certainly say is well worth doing. As mentioned in the combat section, the environments are also pretty destructible, and I actually found myself sitting and just smashing up the place a little bit to see how much damage I could really do. Overall, the graphics are very nice, the characters look very realistic at times, not to be confused with the additional live action videos in the game. And then when you ramp up the settings in the RTX, there are some very impressive special effects going on in the environment and with your abilities. The music and sound make the game very atmospheric at times, however there are certainly games that have done it better. Overall, Control is well worth the download for both the story and the combat mechanics. You really do get a sense of power when you rip off a piece of wall and throw it at someone. Or something, as the case may be. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think of the game. Otherwise, I would strongly advise you pick it up while it's free on Epic this week. As always, please do like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you all next week for the next free games on Epic.